Few topics generate as much intrigue as Rh negative blood. You'll see claims about hidden bloodlines, suppressed science, even talk of non-human origins. But before we dive in, let's be clear about one thing. There are things people don't understand about Rh negative blood. That doesn't automatically mean there's a secret being hidden. It often means the science is complex, misunderstood, or poorly communicated. So instead of recycled myths, let's look at what's genuinely interesting and what often gets exaggerated. What Rh negative actually means. The rhesus negative blood type refers to whether your red blood cells carry the Rhd protein. Rh positive, you have the protein. Rh negative, you don't. That's it at a surface level. But beneath that simple definition lies a deeper question. Why do some people lack this protein at all? The real mystery, where did it come from? This is where speculation begins. Rh negative blood isn't evenly distributed across the world. It appears more frequently in certain populations, particularly in parts of Europe. The uneven distribution leads to natural questions. Did it arise from an ancestral mutation? Science suggests it's a result of genetic variation over time, not a single dramatic origin point. But because the exact pathways are complex and not widely understood, people often fill in the gaps with more dramatic explanations. Why it feels different. One of the biggest reasons Rh negative blood attracts attention is pregnancy compatibility. If an Rh negative mother carries an Rh positive baby, her immune system can react. If an Rh positive mother carries an Rh negative baby, that can also lead to problems. To some, that difference feels like evidence of separation. The gap between science and public understanding. Here's something that is often overlooked. Most people never get a detailed explanation of their blood type, beyond a quick label. No context, no deeper genetics, no evolutionary background. That creates a vacuum. And wherever there's a vacuum, speculation rushes in. So when people ask, what don't they want you to know? The honest answer is often, it is not that something is being hidden, it's that something hasn't been clearly explained, or scientists, doctors and nurses you might ask about this are actually clueless themselves. The rise of extraordinary claims. Because Rh negative blood is less common, tied to reproduction, unevenly distributed, medically significant, it becomes a perfect candidate for bigger stories. These include claims about elite bloodlines, lost civilizations, supernatural traits, hidden human history. The pattern is familiar. Take a real biological trait, add mystery, connect it to identity, build a narrative. That doesn't mean the narrative is true, but it explains why it spreads. The psychological pull of hidden truth. Let's be honest, phrases like, "What don't they want you to know?" are powerful. They suggest exclusivity, secret knowledge, being part of a select group, seeing behind the curtain. For someone who already feels different, discovering they are Rh negative can feel like confirmation of that identity. And that emotional pull is often stronger than scientific nuance. What is actually interesting without the hype? You don't need conspiracy theories to make Rh-negative blood fascinating. There are real grounded questions worth exploring. How did these genetic variations spread across populations? Why are some regions more affected than others? How does Rh compatibility influence medical care globally? What does this tell us about human migration and adaptation? These are open, ongoing scientific discussions, not secret cover-ups. The truth is less dramatic, but more real. Rh-negative blood became a magnet for conspiracy theories because it sits at an intersection of biology, identity, rarity, and unanswered curiosity. But curiosity doesn't always require a hidden agenda. Sometimes what looks like a secret is simply a story waiting to be better understood. And in this case, the real story isn't about what they don't want you to know. It's about how easily mystery can turn into myth when explanation is missing. Rh-negative blood, the Serpent lineage. Not all blood carries the same memory. Some blood remembers the sea. Long before recorded history, before kingdoms and scriptures, before the shaping of modern humanity, there existed beings who did not belong fully to land or water, but to both. They are known in esoteric tradition as the Serpent lineage. The aquatic origins. A primordial branch of early humanity, aquatic apes, adapted not just to survive the oceans, but to listen to them. These beings possessed heightened sensory awareness, fluid intuitive intelligence, an innate connection to rhythm, tide, and vibration. Their blood carries something unusual, something later generations would come to recognize as what we now call rhesus-negative blood type. That absence was not a lack, but a purity of an older pattern. The rise of the Serpent bloodline. As ages passed and environments shifted, some of these aquatic ones moved on to land, evolving into what we now identify as Neanderthal populations. They were called the Serpent bloodline, not because of appearance, but because of energy. The serpent in ancient symbolism represents awakening, transformation, hidden power coiled within, and these beings carried a unique energetic system, what later traditions would call Kundalini. The awakening within. Those of the Serpent bloodline are said to possess a dormant force at the base of the spine, a coiled current of awareness. When awakened, it rises, slowly, powerfully, transformatively. This is known as Kundalini. Those with Rh-negative blood have a more sensitive energetic system, a natural inclination toward altered states of awareness, heightened perception of emotional and atmospheric shifts. They do not need to be taught how to feel energy. They remember it. The traits of the Serpent lineage. Legends describe those carrying this blood as subtly different, not outwardly, but inwardly. They may experience heightened intuition, a sense of knowing without logical explanation, sensitivity to environment, strong reactions to energy, mood and atmosphere, vivid inner worlds, dreams, imagination, and symbolic thinking that feel unusually real. Magnetic presence. Others may feel drawn to them without understanding why. Restlessness in ordinary life. A quiet sense that something is missing from surface reality. These are not random traits, they are echoes. The serpent symbol. Across ancient cultures, the serpent appears again and again, coiled at the base of sacred diagrams, rising along staffs and pillars, guarding knowledge, representing rebirth. In this tradition, the serpent is not evil, it is awakening itself. Those of the serpent bloodline carry this symbol not as a belief, but as a pattern. Between worlds. The most striking idea is that those with this blood are bridges between instinct and intellect, body and consciousness, ancient memory and modern identity, the seen and the unseen. They are not separate from humanity, they are a thread within it, a quieter one, but persistent. Why you are being drawn back. This longing to know more persists because your blood speaks to something deeper than biology. It speaks to the feeling of being different, the search for origin, the desire for meaning, the intuition that human history may be more complex than we are told. And for some, discovering they are Rh negative becomes a doorway to that story. In the end, the serpent bloodline may not be about genetics at all. It may be about perception, about those who feel more, sense more, question more, and for who, for reasons they cannot always explain, feel as though something ancient is quietly stirring within them. Not demanding belief, only recognition, a memory, coiled, waiting.